We have a very diverse group here
Yes,
today.
I was just gonna say, I was just reading that. The Duffers Delights, Eats, and Treats. That one makes my mouth water.
I like that Thrift Avenue
Yeah.
and company. Oh,
It's always
Steve
interesting
Buckthorn.
always interesting to see where everybody's from and what their business is.
Yeah.
I can't get my chat up.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's 1:30. I think we'll get started. My name is Jessica Rorson, and I'm the facilitator today. However, I'm also usually helping Jenny on the other end. But today I'm going to be chatting about ChatGPT and social media. So before we get started, I just want to read a land acknowledgement. So as we gather here today, we acknowledge that we are on Treaty 6 territory and homeland of the Métis. We pay our respects to the First Nations and Métis ancestors of this place. So today I am, like I said, I'll be facilitating this workshop, which is a little bit different for us. But usually the presenters that we have a PowerPoint or a presentation that they put up. And I wanted to avoid that and see if we can get people actually having a conversation. Because we can all type in chat and we can all see how it looks. And I just thought it might be a better use of time if we are just actually talking about some helpful tips versus watching me type into the chat bar. So maybe we'll just first have a discussion about how many people are using AI in some form for their social media. And you're welcome to just join in. Susan.
Well, I'm just trying to think. I'm so archaic when it comes to this stuff. However, some of my employees were university students, so they put me on Instagram. They put me, upgraded my Facebook or put me on the Facebook, plus helped me with my webpage. So they're basically out there and just coming back to me, telling me what they did. But boy, did I see an imprint when the Instagram went out to my customers and how much they came to the business.
Right, which is great.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely. So
I'll
are
put
you
my hand up.
using, okay, yeah, Jenny,
Yeah.
yes.
No, but go back to Susan. I'm just gonna say we do for our business too.
Yeah. So do you use
You
AI,
cut out
Susan?
there.
Oh,
Sorry? Go
Susan, do
ahead.
you use AI to generate content for social media?
No,
Okay.
not that I'm aware of.
Okay,
No, I
yeah,
don't think so.
yeah. Anyone else in the group, do you want to share if you're using it for your social media at this time? Melissa?
Hi.
Hi.
Can you see me? Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Melissa Olson. I have my own counseling practice in Prince Albert, and I've started using ChatGPT a little while back. But I am a certified hypnotherapist, and I use it to create guided meditations. I've also introduced EFT tapping into my practice. So I use it to create EFT tapping scripts. So if I have a client that comes in and they're feeling like anxiety or, you know, they're going through a breakup or whatever it is that they're feeling, I'll go on ChatGPT really fast and we'll create a script. And then I'll go through it and I'll guide them with like the tapping points and stuff like that. Or we'll do like a really quick guided meditation and then I'll put them under and then we'll do that. And then I'll do like a Reiki session on them. And so I use ChatGPT for a lot of that. And I also have my own Facebook page for my counseling practice. And I use it for like some of the things too, like can you create a quick ad for and then talk about, you know, like hypnotherapy in a way where people will understand it or, you know, just things like that, whatever it is that I want to do. Or can you give me some suggestions on, you know, different ways we could do cognitive behavioral therapy with, you know, a child, you know, from their point of view, or, you know, just different things like that. I've been able to really incorporate ChatGPT into my counseling practice, and it's leveled it up in a really great way.
Yeah, for sure. We have some comments here just that Shari said that she uses it on Instagram, and Jason said, yeah, use it for as a guide for social media content or all platforms. Absolutely. So now one thing, like it's some, you know, it can be a little bit controversial. Some people say, oh, well, it's taking all the work out. It's not. It's just actually streamlining a lot of processes and the create it does. You still have to go in and edit, and you still have to make sure that the content is accurate and it's, you know, it's meeting your needs. Basically, what I like to say is it's your personal assistant, you know, so you're training someone new every time you go on there. So, you know, if you treat them like your assistant, like, hey, I have a task for you to do today. I need you to, you know, can you please build me 1 month long content for my social media platforms and put it in a spreadsheet for me? Done, right? So and even if you say, if you look at the month of November, using that calendar, I want to be posting Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Can you please create an Excel spreadsheet with the date and the text that I can just copy and paste? And that will be generated for you within seconds. And then you can go in after and you could, you know, edit it or put a different date in if you wanted to. I think that, you know, it just really allows you to brainstorm, and then it's very witty and quick. And so it will come up with ideas that maybe you never thought of and puts it out in a way that maybe you didn't think of writing it. But it levels you up, like Melissa said. You become a little bit more competitive because the language that's being used is exactly what you hoped it would say. And if not, you just say, can you please, you know, that's not really the tone of my message that I want to portray. Can you change it up? One thing that I find really helpful when I'm using it is I do some content creation for some different organizations. And so in order for chat to be able to generate accurate content for those clients, sometimes I will copy and paste pages of their website inside chat just so it can get a sense of who they are and what they're doing. And then I just put in, like, I would like to, you know, let's say it's, I'm just looking here at my my notes here. You know, let's say it's for a bake shop. And I could say, can you please write me 15 Instagram posts that have to do with my small town bakery in Meadow Lake? I focus on sourdough and sourdough bagels and scones, but women owned. You know, I want to be, you know, I want car dealerships to find these posts interesting because I want them to be hiring me to bring in all the baking for their foyers, right? So you can be really specific about who you are and what you're doing. And then your messages will be even more genuine Sorry, say children.
I found ChatGPT has really helped with the content creation, like you said.
Yeah.
I used to struggle making like well-worded posts to go with my videos or whatever. And I go to ChatGPT, put in a little bit of information, and it'll say, do you like that? Do you want it more personal? Do you want it funny? It's honestly saved stress on my life. I didn't
Mhm.
realize you could set up posts like a whole bunch at once. So that's good to know.
Oh, yes. You can have it create like a spreadsheet
Wow.
for a year of content.
Wow.
Like you could, it's unbelievable.
Okay.
The other thing that I find more helpful probably is that if you're creating your own graphics, and I do, and I use Canva to do that,
Yeah.
often I find it easier just to like create the graphics, then upload the graphics into chat and say, can you please create like the text that would go with this image?
Wow.
And then, and I also say, but don't repeat the text that's in the graphic. I just want it to complement it. So I find it more helpful to do it that way because often I find it harder to create a graphic with the text already identified. I find it easier to create the graphic and then ask chat for help to come up with the text. But whichever way works for you, it doesn't matter. Um, we all kind of get into places where we're wanting to share information, let's say from another organization, another business, but you don't want to necessarily just like hit forward on your, like not like just share it. You might want to change it up a bit or add your own little description at the top. I find it also helpful to upload maybe a text or a post that you've seen before, upload that to chat and say, hey, I want to use this and help promote them, but from my voice, not from their voice. And then chat will just create a script for you based on that. I think the tone is really important. So chat really needs to know like who is the voice, like who is speaking, who do you want to be speaking? Because is it from you, the business owner, you know, um, is that the tone that you want, or is it, um, from an organizational standpoint, like who is it? Whose voice do you want? And I think that being really clear is helpful. Again, some people will say to remind chat every single time you log in, like, you have like a little script just indicating like, remember, you're my assistant and this is the role that you have and you're going to create these things for me based on you know um, kind of the tone that you've already outlaid, like you have like a little script just to keep reminding chat who you are, because sometimes it gets confused about the tone and messaging that you're trying to portray. um, Does anyone else have any tips that they've used that work well? Or any other suggestions maybe for the group?
Hi there, it's Tamara here.
Hi.
Hi. Using the Excel spreadsheet and creating those posts for a set period of time, what I do too, for reference purposes sometimes, is include the link to our website or any relevant information that I want included in that post. And I'll say as well, do some research for me, or here is what we did last year. I want to change this, but like I said, just including any relevant links or information, attachments as well to help build out those posts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Then you don't have to go back in after. I don't like duplication of work. So if you put in all the details at the forefront, then chat can create scripts or posts with all your contact information in every single post. If you just say, I need my phone number, my website, my email to be in every post, they will do that. right? It will do that for you. Because at the end of the day, we want this to be lead generating for you if you're using social media to increase your sales and your viewers and your audience and grow your business. You want people to be able to find you and contact you. I also ask chat not to include a lot of emojis because I find that it looks quite artificial when it's filled with all the cute little emojis. Yes, it looks nice, but it looks very artificial. So, you know, sometimes I leave a few in, but a lot of the time I take them out. You know, but if you're really happy with some of the messages and the social media posts that are being created for you, you can even say, you know, let's use this Facebook post. Can you please create a newsletter article based on this? Right? So then now you're using just one social media post and creating a whole newsletter article or a blog post just on one idea. So it's so time saving, some of these tips and some of these tricks that ChatGPT can do for you. You know, obviously, not obviously, but don't put in like any financial information or pricing and things you don't have to, but get any of your sensitive information into it. But just, you know, utilizing different content that you might have. If you have a biography that you've used, or you need one done for social media to be able to highlight yourself or your staff, all you need is a few bullet points for chat to be able to pull something together for you for a little, you know, if you're doing like staff introductions or something on your social media. It doesn't require a lot. And then again, just like before you're posting, to, you know, proofread for your tone, check the spelling and the dates and the links. You can't, chat will often, oh yeah, the EM dashes, yeah. You can't, the links I found, when you can't copy and paste it right from chat to Facebook, let's say, with the link working, you're going to have to take that out and put your real link in. So I often will just say, don't hide any of the links. Make sure that they're clear so that I can post it directly into Facebook without having to do it twice. And then pairing the AI generated text with real imaging is great also. So previously I had been using Canva a lot to create some different posts. But if they were real pictures that we had just taken of real people, I found that they did better on their own without having put them in a filter in Canva. They do better on their own, just the raw image, versus kind of making it look prettier. So that's just another thing with just using the AI and trying to use the real photos. It does really help with your reach. Now, what about some of the frustrations that people are experiencing? Have you had many frustrations with ChatGPT? What were they? No. The only thing I've found is sometimes more or less just like not quite grasping the concept and just having to ask again, like, no, don't really like the way that's going. Could you try it this way? You know, and just giving some different word prompts. But I do really like the fact that you can have, let's say you have one graphic from your business. Let's say you're a candle maker and you have one photo, and you upload that one photo. And you say to chat, can you please make, you know, 4 posts based on this candle and my business? and it will. So now you can go ahead and save that one graphic, and then in a spreadsheet have, you know, 3 or 4 different texts that you could use and switch out just from the one image. So people aren't always going to remember the pictures that you've used in the past. They won't also remember the text because it's changing every single day. So it's okay to reuse the content that you have created. But it is really nice when you're kind of at that content creation stage, just to have a few different texts created at the same time for that one image. I do recommend that you keep things in a spreadsheet so that you are more organized, even if it's just the text, and then perhaps what I do is I label the images, let's say 1 through 10. And then in my spreadsheet, it's 1 through 10. And then the column beside it is just the different prompts, the different text that I'll have that would go with that graphic. Because then it can be used over and over again. And it's just a way to keep your content creation more organized. I have learned the hard way. I have had like a million photos on my desktop, and then all of a sudden went, this system doesn't work for me. I need to be more organized with what I'm doing. So so that's just one. It's just that whole content piece of the graphic, the image, and then the text, the body that you're going to be using within your social media. But there's also really great things that can be done on different platforms like LinkedIn. Oh, can you explain the spreadsheet more in depth? Well, sure. I'm going to just just gonna share my screen. 1 second. Just have to find it. Sorry, just 1 second, because I have a few things open. I just want to make sure, but I'll show you exactly what I mean. Gosh, I haven't been on this side in a while. Share. Oh, here we go. Huh.
I'm going to say it's the green button, usually at the bottom, but sometimes they move things on us.
Well, it's just that I'm trying to see which. Here, are we at my chat screen?
Oh, unmute. I think, there we go.
Okay.
Yes, I
so
can see
here
your
we
chat
are.
screen. Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to say, and I'll just show you. So I'm going to say, can you please create a spreadsheet for the month of November? I need 16 social media posts for the IBDS program, focusing on starting a business. Okay, let's see what happens. All right, so it's analyzing.
I'm going to ask one quick question.
Sure.
Can you upload and do all of the same things in the free version compared to the paid version?
You cannot.
Okay, that's
You cannot.
okay.
You cannot upload.
Okay.
You might be able to like 5 times, but that's about it. They kind of
Okay.
get you enjoying that feature, and then they're like, oh, and now you're going to pay.
That's what I figured. That's why I thought I'd ask.
Okay, so let's just see. Let's see what happens. So now I can just download the social media plan. I think I have to probably stop sharing and opening it up. Let's just see what happens. Can you see this Excel?
No.
Okay, just 1 second. Okay. 1 second then. Sorry, I just have to upload it here too. Stop sharing that for a second. Now it's opening in my Google. Okay, so you'll see that it's created this spreadsheet. So it has the date, it has created a text for your post, tells you where you could put it, says it needs a graphic, the status, planned or not, and then you could add a note section if you needed to, just like done, or not going to use it right away, or whatever it is that you're going to put in there. But I find that I'm just going to change how this is laid out here so we can see this a bit better. Okay. So it said, ready to grow. The IBDS program offers workshops, training, one-on-one coaching to help you move forward. That is true. It sure does. I didn't say that, but it does. Indigenous innovation is thriving, and we're here for it. Discover how IBDS can help you launch or expand your business. So all of these, with just the short amount that I've shared, is quite accurate. I would likely use these. So that was very fast, right? And now you can go ahead and you could add in your graphics right into the spreadsheet, or a numbered system like I said I use, and just have a folder and link it so you know which text is going in for which on which day and which graphic, so it matches. But you could do that. That was only for the month of November. You could be doing it for the full year all at once, and it's done. And now you just have to worry about the graphics that you're adding. And the thing is it saves you so much time, because we're often thinking, well, I don't know what to say today. And it doesn't have to always just be about, you could add some personal bits in there too to make it more interesting. You can ask it to share whatever you would like. But I really like the fact that it can create the spreadsheets for you, just so it's all in one place. Any other comments about that? Jenny, what do you think about that? Are you going to use that feature?
I should. I do know it really helps me. I find at the end of the day that you're tired and you're trying to do your social media and you can't be creative. And by plugging in some information, and it does get to know you. Like, especially if you're using the paid version, As
Mhm.
you keep adding more stuff, it gets to really know you.
Oh,
Um,
mhm.
and it's incredible what it can give you. And like it's easy to add your pieces. Once you've got that base, if you're having that block like I seem to have sometimes, it once it gives me something, I can just add to it and it gets me creative. I don't know why, but it seems to.
For sure. And I mean, we're all we all see posts from other people or businesses that we really like. Save it, upload it to chat, and just say, I really like the look of this. I really like the messaging that this um, has. Can you create something like that for me in my business? Can it add the graphics? Not yet. I have tried. I'm not happy with the graphics that it does. Um, so I would say to you, still create your graphics or just use photos. Um, Eventually I'm sure that it will become easier. It will likely become more expensive if it has that capability. It can merge into Canva. But I have never been able to use any of the things that it's created. The subscription I pay for is $20 a month. And I wouldn't need it to be doing any more than what it does for me. I'm not even really too sure on the different tiers of system, but this is just one component, is the social media component. Um, you know, if you're looking at newsletters for your business, it would generate your newsletter for you, not the actual newsletter that you could send and get printed, but the content for your newsletter. It can do the copy for your website if you tell it which page you're working on and what the tone is and who you're speaking to and what you want it to say. It will create your website copy. You know, if you're having troubles with writing emails or responding to somebody, put it in chat and get it to rewrite your email for you, or get it to rewrite your presentation that you're doing. You know, you can still go back in and add your own personal touches, but it sure helps you get started, and just helps your own creativity kind of start to flow. It just really does give you ideas that you know are there, but you just weren't able to collect them in such a way that this platform can. And also, like, giving it samples of your personality and of your humor and of your heart and your values and all these things, because the more authentic you are, it is able to create um, content for you that actually matches what you would say if you were a professional writer. So yeah, so then really and also being quite descriptive. So if you're wanting to create content, let's say for Instagram, and you want it to feel cozy and wintry and majestic, and there's a fire going and there are cookies baking in the oven, tell it all those things, because it will help you create the vibe and the message that you're hoping for, that matches you know, your brand and matches you know, what you're doing. So Jen is from Cree Hearts Design. She's a First Nations beater. Wonderful. Nice to meet you, Jen. And I mean, again, we all have different skill sets. Jen is a beater. It doesn't necessarily mean that she's proficient in creating content for social media. But that's why this is very helpful, because you have your business and what you're doing. we all know that we have to be on social media in order to help our businesses grow, but we don't always have the skills to create all this content. And like Jenny said, it's very time consuming. So that's why this is just using this is such a tool to just be able to still have consistent messaging out there that you didn't have to sweat over. So, you know, and if you're looking at, you know, maybe you're, you know, starting your business and you're looking for help with your business plan, or maybe a letter of recommendation, or all those things, like chat can help you put together a business plan. It's quite basic, but you can, you know, modify things as you go along. You know, letters for grants, letters of recommendation, maybe a service agreements, different things that your business is going to need down the road. Maybe a partnership agreement. It will help you draft all of these documents so that you, it just gets you started, like I said. I think, you know, I don't want to say, oh, you don't need any other professionals in your life. That's not true. This is just the starting point for getting some of these things drafted so that you can move forward. Any other comments? What else are people using this platform for? We know that it can do things like pre-hypnosis things, like Melissa was talking about.
I know for our business, my husband does this weekly feature. We are a lumber yard, and we do this weekly feature. And I was having trouble writing the text. He would do the video, but I was having trouble writing the text for the videos. And so then I just started putting things from the video into the text, and what it created was incredible. And then we were able to tweak it, make it shorter if we wanted, but it just gave us that introduction that I, some reason, had a block on.
Yeah, all of those things. So
I
even
also
if you're,
use it.
yeah.
I also use it. He's the mayor in our community, and he has to write a monthly mayor's message. And sometimes that's one of the hardest things to do. So he punches in all the events that are going on, the points. He just puts it in point form, what he wants to say, and it spits him out something then that he can then start cutting and pasting. And no, that's not how I wanted to say it, but it gives him that base. And he's not a
Mm-hmm.
writer at all, but it gives
Mm-hmm.
him that base to get started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The content thing is absolutely insane, because you can give it just one word, like, I want to focus on shopping local for the month of December. Please create 10 shopping local in rural Saskatchewan posts. Done. Because, or else it's just going to, if you're just doing it maybe on your own, it's going to get quite boring and it will be the same message over and over again. But for some reason, chat just knows how to change it up. Oh, does it also help with video reel creation? You know, that's a good question. You could ask for content reel ideas that match kind of what you're trying to accomplish. It wouldn't be able to create the reel for you if that's what you meant. So for example, if I just were to share my screen again, that's not it. Just a second. Okay, so let's just ask it here. No. So I've just asked it. Now can you create some reels based on the IBDS content? Okay, so it just kind of gives you the visual. So it says, I know I don't need to really read it because you're here also, but it says your hobby could be a business. What if your hobby could pay for your next vacation? Quick clips, painting, beading, baking, sewing, then a calculator plus cash, register, and a happy customer. And then your caption, turn your creativity into income. IBDS helps Indigenous entrepreneurs start and grow a small business with the support that fits your lifestyle. So yes, it is giving you the ideas, which, I mean, this is great because sometimes when you're creating a reel, you're not really sure of like what visuals you should be using, you know, what the hook is, all those things. So yeah, I think this is great. I haven't done that, so now I will.
Does
I
anyone
think
have?
too, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to ask if anybody has questions. Feel free to, turn on your camera and your mic and fire away.
Yeah, because I don't really have much else to share because it is really just it's a platform that you need to just not be scared of and just putting in some questions and you'll be guided. You'll be like, oh, I wonder what it will do when I ask this or this, and you'll be surprised and you'll use it because it saves you time and it works very well. It's probably why a lot of you're once you kind of start using it, you'll start to recognize that you're not alone in using it. A lot of people are using it now for social media content creation, and it's because it just really does free up so much time.
So this program, is it the same as Copilot?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
So ChatGPT, is it the same as Copilot?
I don't think so. I could be wrong. Let me see. I know there's lots of different. Microsoft Copilot. Yeah, I mean, they're all very similar. And I mean, even within Google now, you'll notice that there's an AI answer at the top. This is just different in terms of like, this is just the one that I use and that I'm focusing on, truthfully. Can the Microsoft one do the same thing? Truthfully, I don't know because I'm using this one and I haven't really explored any others. But if I were to, I'll just ask it. Can you generate? Is that the one that you use, Jen? Is the Microsoft Copilot?
No, I don't. I've just just started just messing around with it. Like it
Oh,
seems
okay.
similar, but I did create my logo within ChatGPT. So
Oh, did you?
yes,
So you were happy with it then?
yes, I was. Yeah.
Well, that's good. Yeah. I think that it's very similar. I asked it to create a spreadsheet. It didn't create a spreadsheet. It just created some, 10 posts. I think it's just about user preference. I have a relationship with my ChatGPT. I don't think I could go anywhere else now. He knows too much. So funny. But
it is true. It does get to know you.
it does get to know you. Yeah. Like, I mean, I use it for like creating meal plans and grocery lists and all sorts of things. So it's not just a business tool. It can definitely help you with the tasks of your personal life as well. It's not just about content creation, you know. So it's very helpful. Like any kind of research that you're, you know, just wanting to do. I probably use it more than I use Google now, truthfully, but depends. Anyways, I think that that's all I really have for today. Oh, do you recommend paying for the subscription? Well, initially I didn't pay for it, and then I realized that I couldn't attach anything, so I couldn't upload a document, let's say, for a review. I couldn't upload a transcript. I couldn't upload graphics with not being part of the paid subscription, so then I started paying for it. So to me, it's just it works out well because I like those features. But if you're just needing it for some simple, you know, at some point it will stop working for you until you pay. I don't know how many asks that is, but it will happen that one day it will say you've had too many and you need to start paying. So anyways, yeah.
I was just going to say thank you, Jessica, for sharing
Yeah,
that
you're
with us.
welcome.
I think, and thanks everybody for joined in. It's always good when we get some questions and get the audience, you know, taking part with us. I just wanted to say on behalf of Sage Hill and IBDS, thank you everybody for joining us. Our next one is in November, and it's on Instagram, right?
It's
Am I
on
right?
Instagram.
Yep. So we're always offering different things. Make sure you check out the IBDS Facebook page and our website. Keep track, you know, follow what we do. We do record our sessions and they are also saved on our YouTube channel. So there's many videos from all of our different presenters on there. Everything from the tax parts, you know, BST, GST, business expenses, and right down to all the marketing stuff. So make sure you check that out. There's lots of good information there. And again, thank you, Jessica, for sharing your world of ChatGPT with all of us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Have a great day, everybody.